Watts and his wife Shanann appeared to be the picture-perfect family living in Colorado. They had a baby on the way. In social media videos, Watts played the part of loving husband and doting father to Bella and Celeste. But back in August, that story of suburban bliss began to unravel when Watts' pregnant wife and daughters went missing. Just days ago, the woman who Chris Watts was having an affair with spoke to the Denver Post, telling the paper he's a liar. He lied about everything. According to Nichole Kessinger, Watts wooed her into an idyllic romance after he introduced himself to her at work. She noticed that he didn't wear a wedding ring, allegedly telling her he was separated and at the end of the divorce proceeding.
So the question that we ask, is all of that true? Is what Nichole Kessinger told the media and told police about her relationship with Chris Watts truth? Or is she altering the truth or just straight up lying to protect herself? When it comes to exploring this case, it's also important to ask the question, did law enforcement and representatives of law enforcement, like the district attorney's office or the district attorney himself, tell the truth? Was he forthcoming and honest with the public for whom he serves? The following short excerpt is District Attorney Honorable Michael J. Rourke speaking.
Stop asking about it. She didn't have anything to do with it. She wasn't there that morning. She voluntarily cooperated with law enforcement. She provided us all the information. I'm not going to tell you where she's at. Stop. Leave me alone.
Woo! Hot dang. So clearly that public servant does not want to be serving the public. Okay, so we get that, but is he telling the truth on behalf of justice? After all, District Attorney Rourke is truly the only person that can seek justice for the victims of this horrible tragedy. 15-week pregnant Shanann Watts, 4-year-old Bella Watts, and 3-year-old Celeste Watts.
It's my turn.
What's yours say, Cece?
Celeste, she's just a ball of energy. Call her Rampage, because she's just always, she's got 2 speeds, go or she's sleeping.
Diva, Princess, Mini Boss, Rockstar, Multitask. Good job.
And Bella, she's the more calm, cautious, mothering type, and she's more like me. She's more calm.
So Bella, I'm gonna go get Cece because I think she's climbing up the stairs, okay?
Nope.
I have to go get her. And Bella has her baby. She's such a good mommy. Right, Bella? She just woke up from her nap. Maddie, I would totally take you up on that.
Not going where?
Nope, Cece's not going anywhere.
So are District Attorney Rourke's assertions about Nichole Kessinger's forthcoming nature, maintaining that she voluntarily gave up all the information, true?
She voluntarily cooperated with law enforcement. She provided us all the information.
When District Attorney Rourke speaks, it's time for a fact check. The truth is that she didn't come forward exactly on her own accord. Listen to this from the discovery. It should be noted that approximately 3 hours before the polygraph was scheduled to begin, which was at 8 a.m., I received a phone call from Anandarko Regional Security Manager Tony Husky. Now, this is a narrative from polygrapher Tammy Lee. Husky advised he had reviewed Chris's computer network traffic, and it was possible Chris had started a relationship with an Anandarko employee. Husky advised he located emails between Chris and a contracted employee who he identified as Nichole Kessinger. It goes on to say that they were having a relationship. It is upon learning this information that Nichole came forward to the FBI. Chris's polygraph exam was on August 15, 2018. That is also the date of her first interview with law enforcement, and that interview was with the FBI. We're going to listen to that interview in just a little bit. This information all lends to a fact that those of you who have been following the case know very well, that law enforcement and everyone related to law enforcement treated Nichole Kessinger very, very favorably. So when did that start? And exactly how much favor was Nichole Kessinger, Chris Watts' mistress, given? There is a document that corresponds to the FBI's collection of the evidence that was Nichole Kessinger's interview with them on August 15th, 2018. The family went missing on August 13th, 2018. On this form, you can clearly see that the FBI has declared that Nichole Kessinger's identity should be protected. Here it says her name, And then in parentheses, in all capital letters, it states protect identity. So what exactly does that mean? And why was it deemed that Nichole Kessinger's identity should be protected on the very first day that they interviewed her, that law enforcement interviewed Chris Watts' mistress? So what does it mean when an FBI document indicates that somebody's identity should be protected? The phrase FBI document protect identity generally refers to the use of Exemption 7D of the Freedom of Intelligence Act, or FOIA, to protect the identity of confidential sources. This exemption allows the FBI to withhold information that could reveal the identity of a person who provided information on a confidential basis, especially in the context of a criminal investigation or national security intelligence investigations. Examples of why a witness may be protected includes confidential sources. This includes individuals who provided information to law enforcement on a confidential basis, such as cooperating witness, informants, or confidential human sources, to protecting identity. The FBI uses this exemption to ensure that the identity of these sources remains confidential to protect them from potential harm or retaliation. So let's take a look a little deeper into Exemption 7D, as it is quite relevant to this case, you might find. So in the introduction in the Department of Justice document, it states, it has long been recognized that Exemption 7D affords the most comprehensive protection of all the FOIA's law enforcement exemptions. Indeed, as the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit has remarked, Exemption 7D was enacted to assist federal law enforcement agencies in their efforts to obtain and to maintain confidential sources, as well as to guard the flow of information to these agencies. Exemption 7D ensures that confidential sources are not lost through retaliation against the sources for past disclosure or because the sources fear future disclosure. And we certainly know that Nichole Kessinger did have a fear of future disclosure of her identity, now didn't she? In the August 17th phone interview with CBI's Kevin Kobach, that is the third of the total of 5 interviews that Nichole Kessinger had with law enforcement, 3 in person and 2 over the phone, she definitely gives an indication that there has been made some kind of an arrangement with her that she is going to be working together as a team with law enforcement. Listen to this.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying to help you guys. I need you guys to help me too. Like,
yes,
we'll
ma'am.
do this as a team, but just don't
so
fucking let me down,
the
please.
reason why we can't, like, I think
So to reiterate, she says she's really trying to help you guys. She just needs help too. He replies, yes, ma'am. We'll do this as a team. Just don't fucking let me down. To which Kobach replies, clearly he was thrown off by that remark. Perhaps it wasn't supposed to be recorded, or perhaps he was just taken aback that she had the nerve to say that to a Colorado Bureau of Investigations agent when she herself is in such a precarious position as it relates to this crime. What exactly was Nichole Kessinger promised when she was told, apparently by the FBI, at least as it states in the initial August 15th document, that her identity would be protected? Now, was Ms. Kessinger promised more and given more than just the words on that FBI document from August 15th, 2018 that says, protect identity? Well, we do know this, and I actually came across this kind of rather recently. This is from the emails that were exchanged between Nichole Kessinger and Kevin Kobach during the course of the interview period from after the interview on August 16th, 2018. That's one where her dad is present with the yellow table. This was just 3 days after the family went missing. They started texting. She texted him at 2 a.m., not that evening, but it would rather be the early morning hours of the next day, right? She remembers something she had to tell him. And from there, it goes on and on and on. There's over 30 pages of text messages between Nichole Kessinger and Kevin Kobach. Now, this is just before the final interview in the end of August between Nichole Kessinger and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, specifically Kevin Kobach, that is on video at least. Kevin Kobach says let's start here. Kevin's saying, see you tomorrow. And Kessinger says, out of curiosity, why do I have to come in to address the news that broke last week? Kevin Kobach responds, I would like to introduce you to the lead detective and cover anything you want to talk about. also speak with you about witness protection and name change info. Very interesting. Also, want to speak with you about witness protection and name change info. Wow. Wow, right? Now, either in response to her joy over that comment alone, or maybe it's to the whole package that law enforcement offered her, Nichole Kessinger responds, "Thank you so much for helping me with everything and your team's willingness to keep things quiet for me so I can heal." Again, thank you so much for helping me with everything and your team's willingness to keep things quiet for me so I can heal. So what exactly does that mean? Whatever happened at the end, or at least at this point, Nichole Kessinger was clearly very pleased with, because she is expressing her happiness here to Kevin Kobach, which is something that she does really not do throughout any of the interviews or the text exchange between them. She's just demanding more for me. We know by doing the research, reading about the results that were yielded in the research, and reading from that Department of Justice document about the 7D exemption for protected identity, witnesses that were granted identity protection by law enforcement for various reasons, that the words protect identity, especially when granted by the FBI and written in all capital letters on an official FBI document, mean something specific. So within that same Department of Justice document regarding the Exception 7D for FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, and protecting a person's identity, we see some footnotes here citing some certain cases. In particular, this case talks about that term and those words together, protect identity, as granted by the FBI. We have Frankenberry versus FBI. So the finding agency established express grant of confidentiality because withheld records contained notations proving that the source had expressly requested and been granted confidentiality. Affirming existence of express confidentiality, where FBI explained in sworn declaration that witness interview documents were marked protect or protect identity, just like Nichole Kessinger's were, because two witnesses were promised confidentiality. Holding that FBI properly withheld documents that themselves contained positive indications that the FBI gave the source express assurances of confidentiality is evidenced by words protect identity and notation that the source desired to remain anonymous. Well, ain't that something? Those again are the words that appear on Nichole Kessinger's document, and she certainly did express the desire to remain anonymous. Finding interview from source properly protected pursuant to Exemption 7D, where, quote, protect identity, end quote, appears whenever source's name is referenced. So here we have another mentioning of protect or protect identity. So we're talking about a case agreeing with the DEA that notations on documents obtained from state and local agencies established that there was express assurances of confidentiality, where documents contained express condition of confidentiality prohibiting further distribution. Finding that evidence of express confidentiality was present when documents contained designations protect in quotes, or again, quote, protect identity, end quote, sound familiar? And protect by request. Remanding with instructions that if a district court finds that the withheld documents do in fact, as the FBI claims, bear evidence on their face of express assurances of confidentiality, then the FBI would most likely be entitled to withhold such documents. Or in other words, keep their end of the agreement up that they are going to protect someone's identity. Very intentional words when used by the FBI on an official investigative document, protect identity. And that apparently is what they intended to do, at least initially, with Miss Kessinger. Why? It seems to me that law enforcement was back and forth with Nichole Kessinger about the level of protection that she was going to be provided, because when it seemed like she didn't think that she was getting the level of assistance and protection that she deserved, she was straight up tantruming about it. She wouldn't even let Kevin Kobach ask her questions about the crime that had just happened days ago, the murders of these beautiful people, Shanann, 15 weeks pregnant, Bella and Celeste, because she just wanted to talk about how she was going to handle the media and her job search.
I mean, I can do that. I don't mind giving you guys my time. I just need you guys to, like, help me with my employer and try to just help me brace for this media thing and just try.
So I think your personal mental health is the number one issue. Okay.
Okay.
So let me do that.
And we can. Go ahead.
No, I have a couple more questions that don't relate to anything that we just talked about. Is there anything else that you remembered last night that you want to address?
Yeah, a few. So I'm not done yet.
Okay.
And then we can talk about that whole thing too, because I was actually going to see if I could email them today. I was going to email my upper boss, and I was actually going to call her and see and just ask her if she can have. She's Anandarko rep. See if she can have a scheduled sit down with my employer Tasman and schedule sit down with the AP, and I want to get in a room with them all at the same time and just give them kind of a brief synopsis of what's going on and just ask them for help and see what they have to say. But I was going to
think that's a good plan.
Say to them and just ask your opinion on it, because I don't want to give them too much.
You do not need to tell them anything about the investigation or anything about what we discussed. From my standpoint, the investigative pieces that we've talked about, and specifically things that relate directly to why something may have happened or time frames or things like that, they don't need to know that. I think. Oh,
I wasn't going to tell them that. I was just going to let them know that I was.
You were in a relationship with them.
Case, and that I'm like a witness to this case, and that right now it's pretty quiet, but in a few weeks, given how everything goes, it might become kind of a media frenzy. And I was just going to tell them, I mean, I didn't commit any crimes, and I'm not in trouble, but I'm working with the prosecutor to try to help to bring some closure to this horrible thing, and then just tell them, I don't think the media is going to portray a very nice picture of me, and it's just an unfortunate circumstance. And
I think that your projection of whatever is going to happen with the media can be reserved until that time. I know that's like your biggest fear in this.
Oh boy, and wasn't it ever her biggest fear in this. But without further ado, let's take a listen to that very first interview with Nichole Kessinger and law enforcement. That law enforcement agency happened to be the FBI. That was on August 15th, 2018, that same day that document was created, that said, Nichole Kessinger, protect identity. What do you guys think about that? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about Nichole Kessinger's identity being protected. To what degree was it protected? Is she still being protected? What is going on here? I did the best that I possibly could with this audio. I did enhance it for you. It is a little rough at times, so please just bear through it. There's a lot of good information in here, and thank you so much for watching.
Philip Jones. Today's date is August 15th, 2018. Interviewing Nichole Kessinger with Mark Blair. Hi, Philip Jones.
Probably needs to sweetheart out of him, so that's kind of
what's his name?
Right a bit. Yeah.
Duke?
Oh, he's down. Talking. Unofficial. Whatever you feel comfortable talking about.
I met Chris at work. He's not like one of my direct coworkers. He just works kind of in passing in the same office building as me. I met him, I don't know, probably around the beginning of June, maybe before that. And we kind of talked in passing and then started to get to know each other. And we started hanging out pretty frequently around, I want to say the last week of June, somewhere around there. And have continued to talk until then. He informed me that he did have 2 kids. I knew that he had 2 daughters. He also told me that he was currently in the process of a separation from his wife. And so, are there mosquitoes? That he was in the process of a separation from his wife, and as far as I knew, that was becoming pretty finalized. And then Monday afternoon, he told me that she was like gone and he didn't know where she was. And at that point, I don't think that it set off any alarms in my head, just because, I mean, I have friends that I text, and if I don't hear from them for like 3 hours or 6 hours or even like a couple days, I don't feel concerned about where they're at, because it's kind of a standard thing for me. But then she didn't come home that night. I was like, okay, well, maybe she'll come back. And I was kind of under the impression, since they're separating, that maybe she decided to take the kids. Maybe she decided to just leave for a few days. I don't know. I was just, I felt like maybe she was just trying to get some space. And I figured maybe that was why she left her stuff there, to just get some quiet. And then yesterday rolled around, and she's still not around. And that started to seem really concerning for me, that people still don't know where she is, and they don't know where those little girls are. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I hope something did not happen to her and did not happen to her children. And that was when I decided that it's probably a good idea to just come talk to you guys and just let you know that I've been spending time with Chris, and that's as far as this got. So that's it.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. So prior to June, did you know him? Did you guys have any? Did you know any relationship? Didn't know him at all?
No, I didn't know him at all.
Met at work in June.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's the company you guys both work for?
We both work for. Well, I'm a contractor, so technically I don't work for the same company, but we both work for a company called Anandarko Corporation. Like, we're in the same building at the same time. So we don't actually like work together. It's literally like I see him in the hallway passing kind of thing. It's not even.
And then what do you do? What's your position?
I do in-house safety, so HSE.
Okay. And you're still currently employed?
Yes, sir.
And then, so you guys met. Did you start communicating, via email, text, phone messages? How did sort of the relationship develop?
So we started talking through text message and through phone calls. Mm-hmm.
Take your time.
That's how it started.
Sure. Okay. And then did the relationship develop beyond friendship?
Yes.
Okay. And then did he say anything to you about where he thought the relationship was going to be going, or what he was hoping for the future?
I think that he was looking for a relationship with me. But I knew that he was in the process of a separation. So for me, I was kind of having a hard time with that, where it's like, because he told me, oh, we're putting the house up for sale. And I told him, I'm not comfortable with considering you my significant other and vice versa while you are still, like, in the midst of a divorce. Like, I was like, once you and her are finalized with the divorce, and like once you and your kids have your new location that you wanted to move to set up, once all of that is where it needs to be, I'm like, then you and me can talk about, eventually, like, dating seriously and like building something with each other. But I mean, that was kind of my standstill on that. And, I feel guilty that I should have like waited to, I guess, like initiate anything that we had together until after this divorce was finalized, as opposed to doing it while they were separated. It was like so.
And this, it's not uncommon, and it's not. We appreciate you forthright with us and telling us about it because it is significant. You know, we're trying to go through everything that we can as far as the investigation right now to figure out what happened or what's happening. So we appreciate you telling us about this. I know it's not easy to do. So can you tell me a little bit more about this? So you guys started talking, and like when did it develop into more than just talking or just friendship?
It was like the beginning of July.
Yeah, July. And then did you guys continue to see each other up until would it be Monday?
I saw him on Saturday. That was the last time I saw him.
Okay. Okay. And then can you walk me through that on Saturday? Like, did you guys meet? What was that?
So when we spent time together, I didn't really like go to his house. Like, we would spend time at my house. He went out to dinner. That's what we did. He said he had a babysitter. He had to wait for the babysitter. And we met up. I forget what came over. Probably like 5 or 6. And we tried to go to a restaurant down the street from my house, but I didn't like the menu. So we left, and then we went to another one off of like 144. It's called the Lazy Dog. And we went up there, and we had dinner. And then he came back to my house and hung out with me for probably like 15 minutes. And then he left because he said he had to go to the babysitter. So,
and that was Saturday?
That was Saturday. That's the last time I saw him.
Okay. And did you guys, was there anything else that you did? Was it just dinner? Did you go anyplace else? Visit any other?
No, we just went to dinner. That's one of the only times I've actually ever been out in public with him. But, yeah, just dinner.
And so for the most time in the past, whenever you guys were together, it was at your house or going out somewhere?
Typically not. I mean, we've done a few things, but not.
And on Saturday, what a time frame?
I think it was probably like 5 to 10-ish, somewhere around there. And I don't even think it was 10, because we had to be back by 10. So I think it was a little bit before that. I think it was like 9:30. But somewhere in there. And I remember it might have been like a little after 5 too. All I know is the babysitter was going to get there around that time. And he had to be back before 10. So give or take drive time, something like 5 hours or so.
And when he came to your house, he picked you up at your house?
I don't really like ride in his car. I've been in that white car they have once. But other than that, we take my truck everywhere. Always.
When he came to your house, what vehicle was he driving?
I didn't even pay attention to that, but probably his. I don't think he really takes the APC truck anywhere. He doesn't have to.
Because usually, when he comes see you, the white vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, when you guys went out, did you take your vehicle to go wherever you were going?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you had dinner. Was there anything else? Any other discussion about anything?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
An ordinary. Did you talk about anything about the relationship with his wife? That come up? Nothing? No.
I mean, I've been helping him trying to, find a new spot, so I'm sure we talked about, hey, because I know we were trying to set up a time this week to go, have him. He was looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. He wanted to get an apartment that was for him and his girl. And so, sometimes, we talk about that recently because he's just I got to find a place. We were supposed to go look at some stuff this week. We were trying to get it set up before all this happened. So, a little bit of stuff, but it's never, directly him and his wife. It's typically, this is what's going on, and I'm just I would give you a helping hand if you're trying to find a spot. I'll look at apartments for you guys, and, I would tell them, I found an apartment that's, got a pool for your kiddos, and it's got a park for your kiddos, and it's close to work, and close to the gym, and and trying to make sure that he got a place that was close to where, his ex-wife would be staying so that they were all, essentially located to each other and just really trying to help him to get set up so that he could have a good working relationship with her, with the kids, And then he could be in a location that was like safe and centrally located and good for the kids themselves when he had them. And so that, I mean, just trying to like help him to like transition and then be a good dad and make sure that he's there.
And then after Saturday, what was the next time?
Oh, I talk to him all the time. He hasn't texted me today because I asked him yesterday not to, but if I was to text him right now, I bet he'd respond in like 5 minutes. And he has no idea that I'm talking to you guys. Nobody does. My dad is the only person that's in on this loop. Like, no one I know knows that I spent time with him. I don't think anybody he knows that I spent time with him. Like, besides the 3 people at this table, it's just him.
Nobody, no coworkers, no friends,
nobody.
Okay. Are you confident that he didn't say anything to anybody about your relationship?
I'm pretty positive he did not.
Okay.
So.
And then, as far as texts and phone calls since Saturday, has anything been odd to you? Anything that he said or written that strikes you as being strange or not truthful? Or...
Well, so I talked to him on Sunday night, and he was fine on Sunday night. I didn't have any issues with him. And then Monday, I think we shot each other like a couple texts at work, but him and I get real busy, both of us do at work. So it was just kind of like, and it was like just a mundane bullshit conversation, you know. And then Monday afternoon, I came home from work, and I had a friend over my house who is not involved or knows nothing about this at all. But like, I went to meet up with a friend, and then he texted me and told me something along the lines of like, my wife and my kids aren't home. And I was just like, okay. And then
that was on Monday.
It was on Monday.
Do you know what time it was?
Honestly, I'm kind of upset with him right now. Just disappointed with him. So I'll talk to him right now. But probably realistically, I'll tell you. It happened like right after I walked in the door to meet up with my friend. And let me see. So Monday, I got off of work at 3 p.m. Takes me probably like 40 minutes to get home, and I had just walked in the door. So how about 3:45? That's probably about right.
Okay.
And so he sent that then, and I was like really confused, but I wasn't concerned at that point because it was just like, I mean, she's not home. Like, she at the grocery store? I mean, it was like, all right. I didn't realize like the seriousness of the situation at that point. But no, she didn't come home that night. And then I talked to him that night too, and he really didn't seem like. I mean, he was like concerned about his kids, definitely, but he didn't seem like he was at that point worried that something horrible had happened. He was just kind of like, I don't know where they're at. It's stressing me out. And I could hear it in his voice. Like, he sounded kind of scared. Like, he was just worried about them, you know? It's like, I don't know where she is. Like, I don't know where she did her stuff. I mean, so he was worried, but it wasn't bad. I mean, worried like I think somebody would sound if somebody they loved was not at home. You know, but at the same time, I think at that point, he was convinced, I was convinced that she probably just left the day. Like, I really thought, I was like, you know what, I bet she just needed a break from him, and she needs some quiet, and she probably took the kids, and she'll be back in like a day. That's kind of like how I had it in my head. So.
Did he say anything to you about whether anything was missing from the house, not missing, if there's signs of anything suspicious? If he just said that she left? Or he didn't know where she was?
He didn't know where she was. He didn't say she left. He's just like, I don't know where she's at.
And the kids as well.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, and I think he sounded genuinely concerned. I mean, those are his kids. And from the impression that I get, he's a great dad. I mean, he's all about them. He loves those little girls. And so, you know, for me, I could tell when I could, like, hear it in his voice that he sounded concerned. It was just like, those little girls, I'm sure, you know? And I think he's just worried about the whole situation. Like, I don't know where else you and are at. I don't know where else. And
then since on Monday, have you spoke to him on the phone, or has it just been text messages or both?
I think I did not talk to him on the phone. So it was yesterday.
Wait, I'm sorry, you did or you
did not? We texted each other yesterday, but there was no phone conversation yesterday.
Okay. But Monday he was on the phone?
Yeah, at night, at the end of the night, I talked to him. I just remember being really tired and I wanted to go to bed, but I was just trying to make sure he was okay, trying to make sure his family was okay, asking him if he heard anything.
Long conversation. Sure.
I think we talked twice. I think we talked a little bit. So much. I honestly, I got the ball with it. But it was probably pretty extended.
Did anything jump out at you in that conversation? Different? That was odd. Did he say anything to you about anything, you and him? Like anything had changed or anything was different now? Nothing at all. Okay, so just seemed concerned and just
he was worried. I was worried too. I just didn't. I thought she just left for a day. That's really what I thought. And then again, yesterday when she just didn't come home, I was like, oh, maybe this is something really serious. And again, with my friends, it wouldn't be something that would draw attention. I didn't talk to them immediately, and I knew that they were going through separation. So the fact that one person is leaving for maybe a day, that doesn't seem out of the ordinary for me, just somebody who wants to leave. The fact that all of her stuff was still there, though, that to me was kind of strange.
Okay. And did he tell you about anything that was going on with her, as far as was she seeing anybody, was there, had she talked about plans of what she was going to do, she was going to go live someplace else?
As far as I knew, he kept it pretty short and sweet. He was if she ever came up in conversation, he was very, civil about her. He never had anything, negative or derogatory to say about her. He just told me, we're separating, this is why, and that was about it. And then when...
Did he say why? Did he say what his reason was?
Reason was for separating? He just said that they, really didn't connect very well anymore. And, I don't know, I think financially they have different ideas of how they wanted to live their lives. So, but he never, just wasn't, negative about her, and it was something that was pretty removed from our what we had going on. So, and I know she was a good mom, but, no, nothing.
Did he ever say that he wasn't in love with her anymore? Or anything like that? No. Was he in love with you? Did he tell you that? He was. Yeah, let's see. Were you in love with him?
I think it could have gotten there had things played out, in a decent manner, but they're not, because this is a horrible situation, and I don't know where she's at, and it's really concerning me that this woman and her children cannot be located. It's not okay. It scares me, and I'm worried for all of them.
Yeah, and we are too, and obviously we're to the bottom of this. And that's some of the questions that I'm going to ask are just trying to get to the bottom of this.
Understandable.
Yeah. And so when he told you that he was in love with you, was that recent? Was that right away? Was that in July? Or?
It was probably a couple weeks ago.
Okay. And did he talk about anything on top of it, saying, I'm in love with you now, and that I want to have a life together, and I don't want to be my wife? Like that?
Yeah, we talk about the future. I think all couples do talk about the future, but it was never hey, I'm leaving her, we're going to get a house together, you're moving in with me. It was never this very forward thing. And, and I even told him, I was like, if we're going to build a relationship, one thing is that if you're getting a divorce, you've been married for a long time, I think it would be wise for you to spend a lot of time on your own I was like, and I recently got out of a relationship earlier this year, and I think it's also healthy for me to spend time on my own. And I told him, I was like, like, I respect, like, monogamy, forgiveness of situation, but at the end of the day, it's like, you need space, and I would tell him that. It's like, once you guys, all your paperwork's finalized, and you guys have decided to separate, and you're in your own spot with your kids, I was like, I think the days that you're with your kids, you need to be with them, like, full time. I'm not ready to meet your children. He didn't even ask me to meet his children. I mean, not yet, but I told him, I was like, in the future, eventually, if we get to that point where we think we're ready, yes, but I'm not ready to meet your kids. They're not ready to meet me. You're not ready to have me meet them. And I just tell him, I think we should take our time. Like, ideally, I would only like to hang out with you, like, 2 years, on the days that you don't have your kids. And I was like, in the rest of those days, I was like, spend time with yourself, man. I was like, you've been in a relationship for a really long time. Like, just spend time, like, doing whatever it is that you do that makes you happy, and really try to, like, take a responsible approach to getting in a relationship with somebody that has children. That is what I do. Just try to, should I have waited until he was, like, officially, completely, 100% on paper divorced and out of that house? Yes, that's my mistake. But after that, everything going forward was really just me trying to do it in the manner that I felt would be the healthiest for him, for me, his vets, for his children, and his daughter.
And then you already said that you never met his children. Did you ever meet his wife?
Nope.
Were you ever at his house?
Once.
Okay. When was that?
But it was probably the second week of July.
So it's just that one time?
Just once. I had no desire to go over there. I mean, that's like a situation where he's living with somebody like separated from him. It's not my life. Like, that's their life, And that's why I tell him, like, the time you spend with me, spend at my house because this is our space, and that's not my space. And for me, I think it's really disrespectful to go over there. And so we stopped by there once, like, on the way to my house, and I was there for maybe, like, 15 minutes, and I saw a picture of her holding her kid. She's so beautiful. And I remember thinking, like, God, your little girls are beautiful too. And we laughed. And I remember telling him after that, it was like, have you ever thought about, like, really trying to fix your marriage with her? And he's like, I don't really want to. And I was just like, man, like, you got a beautiful wife. So she's the mother of 2 of your kids. And I'm just like, you already have all of this stuff. Like, you already have the house and the car and the kids and the marriage and the wife. And I'm like, are you sure you don't want to fix that? I'm like, because what if you, like, try to start over with somebody else? And, like, what if, hypothetically, like, we didn't work out? Or you know what I'm saying? Or, like, just any of that, where it's like, you should at least give her the benefit of the doubt. And he told me, like, I've tried to talk to her about all this stuff a few times, and it's just not working out. And I'm like, all right, I mean, if you're trying to separate from her and it's pretty finalized, then I will respect that. But I mean, just being in that house made me feel like he should just try to fix it. Like, I actually, like, kind of stepped away from him for a little while and just kind of, like, maybe, I don't know, I felt like I wasn't sure if I wanted to, like, carry on because I really wanted him to try to fix stuff, and then he just kind of says to me, like, there's no fixing it. So, alright, so we just picked up where we left off. But yes, so once, long time ago.
Okay. And that was in the middle of July.
Yeah, I think it was like the second weekend of July. I'm almost positive.
Was the relationship intimate by that time?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And then, as far as his work truck goes, were you ever in his work truck? No.
Just know which one it is, but I've never been in it.
And then I think I asked you this, but the white vehicle. I know he drove that. But were you ever in a white vehicle? One time? Okay. Can you just tell me about that?
I'm trying to figure out where we went. I think it was like something cool. We take my truck everywhere. It was a while ago. I don't remember where it was at. Like, I think it was something quick. Like, I think he had to, like, run an errand or something at, like, the grocery store. I think he just, like, took his vehicle. But other than that, like, never. I was always in my truck. If I can remember, like, when that was, I'll let you know. But it, like, wasn't anything like we were going on a date. It wasn't, like, it was, like, nothing. I think it was, like, a quick trip to go somewhere. It was just like, hey, I'll drive, okay.
That's actually going to be another question. Have you guys ever gone on vacation together?
Nope. We went to the sand dunes. Like, it was pretty recent. A couple weeks ago.
How'd that go? How long a trip was that?
We went for like a day. We left Saturday. Came back on Sunday. We stayed one night out there.
And do you think that, or did anybody know that you guys were going on that trip together?
I think a lot of people knew, but they didn't know who it was with.
So on your side or on his?
No, nobody on my side. I mean, people knew I was going to sand dunes, but my friends don't question that. I was just, I'm going to the sand dunes for the weekend. And then, I'm pretty sure, I asked him, I was like, does anybody know you're going to sand dunes? And he said yes. But I don't think he told me it was with me. I think he told me it was with some other people. So.
Yeah. So you're pretty confident that he didn't mention you?
I don't think anybody in his life knows about me. I really don't. Like, at all. Like, I'd be willing to, like, say, like, 100%. I highly doubt anybody knows. Don't see it.
What about social media?
I don't have it.
You don't have any social media?
I have nothing.
So there was no interaction like Facebook Messenger?
Nope. I don't have Facebook. I have nothing. I literally nothing. I have an email. I mean, used for, like, general purposes, but we never even emailed. I don't have a social media. I haven't for a long time. I recently deleted my LinkedIn, but that was like, yeah, and I've had Facebook since like 2016. I've never had like Twitter and Instagram stuff. So.
What about mail? Any type of letters, written communications, anything like letters or anything saying?
I got cards from him.
Cards? Anything in that is different? What stands out?
I mean, it was like kind of sappy, but it was not like anything out of the ordinary for people that are dating. It was a birthday card.
And then I know he was going to the gym and stuff, right? He got into working out.
He was working out of his house.
He working.
He doesn't bad.
I'm sorry, I got hit here too, so yeah. So we'll both get bit up a little bit. So I obviously you work out. I think. So you guys work out together? Yeah. Everyone at the gym.
Nope. I go to my gym and he works out. He's got like a setup down there.
And did you ever see any time or was stating that he was angry, threatening, anything that
he is one of the most gentle and kind men I've ever met in my life.
And then any indications that, anything you can think of that would indicate potential or something like that. Where sometimes he's very kind and gentle, but he can also have both sides, he can have a bad temper, nothing like that.
Not at all. No.
Did he ever say to you anything like, I really hate this person, or I really, stuff like that?
Like I said, and he's so excited to talk about his kids. I always make him so happy. It's cute. No. The one thing I did want to let you guys know is that I was looking at Tuesday. Yeah. Lunch. And I found out that she is 15 weeks pregnant. I did not know that at all. And I was pretty taken back by that. I just felt kind of like disappointed with him, and not with the situation. I mean, if she's pregnant, that's a beautiful thing. But that is information that definitely withheld from me. So I had to find that out through the media, and I asked him about it yesterday, and he kept telling me, he's like, it's not mine, and he just kept telling me it wasn't his, and he's like, you mad? I was like, no, I'm not mad at all. I just am like really surprised, and I was just like, please tell me the truth. Like, don't lie to me. Please don't lie to me. Like, this whole relationship, in a sense, if you think about it, is kind of like, it needs to be as honest as possible. So, yeah, I asked him to tell me the truth, and he kept denying it a few times, and I was just like, Chris, like, I know this child is yours, and I'm like, well, because he kept saying, he was just like, I don't want to ruin anything we have, this and this, and I'm like, Chris, like, you need to not worry about me right now. Like, what you need to worry about is your family. I'm like, all 4 of them, and I kept saying that, like, all 4 of them. I'm just like, I know that's your child. I'm like, and that's okay. I'm like, you need to put all of your energy right now into focusing on owning them and not anywhere else. You know, and then he finally came clean, and he was like, yeah, it's mine. And I knew. It's like, of course you knew. Like, you know, come on, how would you not know that your wife is like, what is it, 15 weeks, 4 months pregnant? I mean, seriously. So he told me, and I just, I don't know. I've never, I have never felt like he's lied to me. I've always felt like he's been pretty upfront with me this entire time. And then after that happened yesterday, between him lying to me, or coming clean about lying to me, and then his wife not coming home, I was like, you know what? I wonder if there's more to this story than I know, you know? And it's really hard for me to process this because I think he's a really good guy. And, you know, I'm worried about his wife and kids. Like, really worried about his wife and kids. Like, I don't know where they are. You don't know where they are. Nobody knows where they're at. And it's just freaking me out because those little girls are like, they're so little, and she's pregnant, you know, and it's like, where's their mom? Where are these babies? And it makes me sad, and it's just this whole combination of, like, she's still not back, and then him lying to me, and I'm just like, I just felt like I needed to talk to you guys and tell you guys, like, I'm concerned, I'll help you, any way that you guys need help,
Well, and that may be something that he asked you at some point. You know, that there obviously is things that you could help with. I mean, yeah, I don't know how many people he's comfortable speaking with, but as you said at the beginning, you texted that they can answer in 5 minutes. So that may be something that we could use help on.
You guys can keep my name out of the newspapers for a little while. That'd be nice.
Well, our report gets internally. We don't turn that over to the news. So we'll have to see how this case goes.
I understood.
But can you now looking back, you know, knowing that he lied to you about his wife being pregnant, is there anything else that you can think of that he lied about?
I mean,
or that now jumps out at you to say, wait a minute, he told me this, but maybe that's not true.
I mean, not really. I still, like, I took everything he said to me at face value. I try to do that for everybody. I mean, unless you guys know something I don't know. But that's, like, the truth that I've been given. So that's, like, what I know. You know, and I don't want to go back and, like, second guess, like, all of that, because to me, it seemed real. It still does. This whole situation doesn't seem real, but at the time, it was just like, I'm separating from her. This is what's going on. You know, and he seemed like he was pretty proactive about, you know, like, trying to get in the spot and, like, trying to get everything set up. And about that, you know. Like, I remember we were talking about it. I was like, because I was like, are you going to get a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom? And he's like, I want a 2. I'm like, why don't you get a 3? And then each one of your girls can have a room. And he's like, I can't afford that. And I was like, all right. And then he was like, I'm going to do 2-bedroom. And then I remember telling him, like, oh, me and my sister had bunk beds when we were little kids. It's kind of cool. They might like it. And he was just like, all right, you know. And so I was like, kind of helping him with that. I was like, we'll go find something that'll be good and help you guys out. And then I was like, I don't know. I mean, I tried. I really tried to, like, handle that whole relationship in the most like decent manner that I could, I guess you could say. So,
did he ever talk to you about who his closest friends were, confidants, best buddy?
I mean, I know he has a few. His buddy Mark out in San Diego is a good friend of him. And
Do you know his last name? No, just Mark in San Diego.
it's just, I don't ask. I have no reason to. And then his buddy Nick, that I know lives somewhere over by me. I'm sure he doesn't tell Larry about all these people.
There's a lot of people working.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it. I mean, I'm sure he's offhandedly mentioned other people, but nothing like sparks the memory.
Just as far as you know, those the names.
I would say that those are probably like his two closest buddies.
Did he have a lot of friends?
I don't know.
Male or female?
I think so. I think there was like a lot of like couples that him and his wife hung out with. I think so. He's always going to like birthday parties and stuff with his kids, so I assume that's how that went.
Is he an outgoing guy or social, or he's more private type?
I would consider him to be an introvert. I think around me he opened up a little bit more. I think he just felt like he didn't like it's kind of like a free relationship, but probably because there's no like strings attached. I don't know, like I'm not going to judge him, or I don't know if it was because I was like his little secret and felt like he could trust me with stuff. But I think he was like pretty open with me usually, but I would consider him.
And then, how about hobbies, interests? Anything? Cars? That's it.
Yeah, cars.
Did the fitness thing, would you consider that to be anything out of the ordinary? You know, some people they're not in shape, they start to get in shape and then become obsession.
No, I don't think
or just a healthy physical.
That's exactly what it was. I did not mean to cut you off.
No,
it was healthy. I think he was in a good spot, and he was working out probably, I don't know, 5 days a week or so, and I knew he ate pretty healthy, and I think he was happy with his fitness level. I wouldn't consider it anything like overly by any means. Like most people I know who go to the gym live clean eating and work out 4 or 5 days a week, much like he was, so nothing strange to me.
Okay. What about finances? Did you ever mention any kind of financial difficulty?
A little bit.
Was that, the strain of a marriage, or spending too much money, or credit card debt, or what? What do you think that?
He just said when they sold the house, I said, this is when he first started talking about putting the house up for sale. I was like, we were doing another house right away. I was like, you guys look, because the Colorado market's pretty high. It was just like, it's like, if you're going to move in an apartment and save up some money, I was like, don't you like that money in the house? He's like, let's put up some debt. And then I'm just
Did he tell you that he sold the house?
No. The realtor was supposed to come over. Or they had a meeting with the realtor, and the house was supposed to go up on Monday. Something to the effect of the house was pretty much supposed to go up for sale.
This past Monday?
So,
He specifically said the house would go up for sale?
He said it was supposed to. Or I don't know if it was that it was going up for sale or that he was talking to the realtor, but either way, I don't remember exactly what it was. It was something to the effect of like, everything was about to like start on Monday with their whole transition. Getting everything. Yeah. And he said that she was the one who found the realtor.
Was there anything else that he said that was significant about Monday? You know, was he going to move out? Was she going to move out?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. It was just like we were going to sell the house. And he said that they were both looking for spots. And I was like, well, where is she going to stay? And he's like, you know, because I wanted him to be in close proximity to her after they split so that he was always like a quick drive to the kids, you know. I remember when I was young, my dad and my mom lived really far apart, and like I still saw them both frequently, but it was just like it was just kind of like a long drive for everybody. And I think just being that close proximity is like it's just good. It's healthy for your kids. And so I remember asking him like, you know where she's going to stay? And he's like, probably somewhere around this area. And he didn't give me anything exact. And then I asked him again, like, recently, because he started getting more serious about coming to the place. And he was like, I think she's just going to stay in Frederick. And I was like, all right, you know. And then, like, one time, that first time when I was like, do you know where she's going to stay? And he's like, she's probably going to stay around here. And I'm like, is she going to stay in his house? He's like, she can't afford his house by herself. And I was like, all right. And that was the first time he told me, like, yeah, we're going to put it up for sale. Like, once they could do that.
Did he tell you what she does for a living? How she earns money?
Kind of, sort of. I know she, like, works for some company that does, like, a lot of online stuff, and it's, like, fitness stuff or vitamin stuff. Or I don't completely know exactly what that is, but I know she has to, like, network with a lot of people on social media to do it. So I'm not 100% sure what you would call that. Which I guess she's, like, a sales rep, kind of, sort of, would be what it's called. But that's what she does for it.
Gotcha. Okay. How about, did you ever see him with any weapons? Ever carry a knife or a gun, or ever talk about weapons of any kind?
No. And in fact, we even, like, so we talk about, like, current events. Like, it's a big thing in my life. I talk about current events with all of my friends. I asked him one day, like, if you want, I will send you articles. Like, I'll read the news, and every, like, once a week or so, I'll find an article that I think is interesting. It's about all sorts of different stuff. And I'll send it to one of my friends, and I'll be like, what do you think? And we'll have, like, debates and discussions about it. And I remember there was one on a shooting that I sent. And I was like, what do you think? And he even told me, he's like, I don't own guns. Ouch. He's like, I think it's crazy. We work in the oil industry, and a lot of, like, they're very love people, and they love guns. He was just talking to me about it, and he's like, I don't understand why some of these people insist on, like, and I know he was referring to, like, the group that we, like, work around, not necessarily our coworkers, but just, like, oil field people. He's like, I don't know why they insist on having, like, 10 weapons. He's like, why could you possibly need that many guns? It doesn't even make sense to me. He's like, it's not necessary. And then he's just like, I don't keep guns in the house. That was pretty cool. So that actually did come up once, but it was, like, we were having
Do you know if he was ever in the military?
Not that I know of.
And do you know where he's originally from? No. You ever talk about that?
Yeah.
Upbringing and, you know, how that was? Anything significant you remember about that? Anything traumatic? Anything? Nothing that jumps out?
Mm-hmm. His mom and dad were still married, and he said he's really close with his dad. Dad's really in the cars, too. So he said that they really relate on that. Said there just wasn't a lot of opportunity in Carolina, like for good jobs or anything around where he was at. And that's what had some friends. Some friends moved out here, and him and her came and visited them. And they just really liked it. Thought there was a lot better jobs. And so that's why he moved. But no hostility back then.
Good relationship with his family back then?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So I know he's got a sister, and she's got 2 kids.
Is his sister in North Carolina?
So, as far as I know, because I know he went to go visit them recently, and he got to see her. I don't know if she's up visiting or if she lives there, but I think she lives there.
Did he talk about going back to North Carolina recently?
I know he went. He's come back.
Okay. All right, so did you know who he went with?
He went by himself and met her out there. I know she was already out there.
Okay. Is there anything else you can think of that you think might be pertinent? I might be, looking into this?
Not really. I mean, I told his name Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Dave. So Dave, like, I think this is information. I don't know if it can, like, help you to solve anything, but it's like, I was a big part of his life recently, so I just figured that you guys should be aware of it. Definitely. And I will cooperate with you on anything that you can. And so I asked him yesterday, so yeah, we can have this in there. Asked him yesterday to kind of like give me some space, because I'm getting to the point with this situation where I am very concerned for his wife and children, and this whole situation is very unsure for everybody else who's involved with this situation. And after like finding out, like, oh yeah, and like I've also got this child on the way with her, and just wasn't very honest with me, I told him, please give me time to heal, and please give me time to process this. And he's like, are we done? And I told him, I said, no, we're not. Yes, we are, but he doesn't need to know that. I just told him that because I was just like trying to find a way to like distance myself from him without alerting him that I'm really uncomfortable with everything that's going on right now. You know, I told him numerous times yesterday that I was scared, and you know, I told him that I was scared not because of like for like my own safety, but I told him like I'm scared because I don't know where she's at. I'm scared because I'm scared for them. And then I told him, you know, the fact that you weren't honest with me, like I don't feel like I know you as well as I did, and that, you know, that's uncomfortable for me too. Like this whole situation, it's scary. It's not good. So, I just asked him if he could give me some space, and then I told him, I was like, when you find your family and they're all right, I was like, then you can go ahead and text me. I was like, but until then, like, I don't really think it's a good idea for me to talk to you, and that's as far as I've got. But I can tell you right now, if I were to text him and just say whatever I needed to say. So I don't know, and I even asked him a few times yesterday. It's like, what happened? Like, where's your family? He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. All right.
And when he says he doesn't know, do you believe that?
I mean, I think about this situation, and honestly, like, I've never seen him be anything but gentle. And I see the way that he, like, he gets so happy when he talks about his kids, and I just, you know, and the fact that he was, like, never ill-mannered, even when he was discussing her, and the fact that they were separating, I always considered him to be a really decent man, so the fact that they're still missing, I mean, I don't really think he would harm them. I don't. I mean, and I think that's also a reason that it took me 2 days to come to you guys, because it was like, I think she left. I mean, and that's still in the back of my head is like a thought where it's like, maybe she took off. I mean, maybe she did. I mean, like I said, like he said, that obviously your financial situation wasn't that great. And I thought maybe she just left because she didn't want to deal with it. Like, if we're over, like, you can deal with it. I don't know. I mean, I've had so many different scenarios running through my head, but I don't think you can do it.
And he didn't indicate to you that she was going to leave. Did he ever say to you, like, one day she's going to be leaving, she's going to be going somewhere?
He told me they had a conversation in the morning, and he told me that she came home, like, really late, I think, that night. And he told me that when he woke up, he said he was sleeping when he got back, and when he woke up, there was a text message from her that said, I don't know if it was a text, I don't know, but she just said she asked him to wake her up before he went to work. And I guess he went to wake her up, and she informed him that the child that she was carrying did not belong to him. And I asked him if he believed that, and he said, no, I think she's just saying that out of spite. So I don't know if he's telling me that because he's trying to, like, somehow make him feel better that maybe it's not his kid because he lied to me, or if that, like, legitimately happened. I don't know. But he told me that, and then I guess he said that she said that she was going to, like, go to some friend's house or something, and I guess he tried to ask her about it a few times. It wasn't really getting anything from her, so I can do that. But I don't think it was planned for 3 or 4 days. I think it was like just on the day. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Did he say if that discussion they had the morning if that was contentious, if there was anything threatening or anything that was, you know, significant in that company?
Not really, but I mean, I'm sure finding out that the child that your wife is carrying is yours is probably painful, but no, he didn't express anything on it. They were arguing. As far as I know, they didn't even really, like, argue that much in the first place. They just had different opinions on how to do stuff. It just wasn't working on the marriage. But he was never like, oh, I fight with my wife all the time. Like, that was never, ever, he ever brought up anything.
Do you think he had any reason to believe that the child wasn't his? I mean, is there a possibility that she was seeing somebody?
I mean, maybe she's at home all day, right? It would probably be pretty easy for her to have an affair. I don't know.
Nothing that he ever mentioned.
Prior to that?
Yeah.
No.
He never said, I think she's having an affair, or she's spending too much time with so-and-so.
No, not at all. I don't even think he would notice. I mean, like, realistically, it's like, no one else knew about us. and she's home all day, so that frees up like that much more time. So no, but I mean, he could have been unaware. But I mean, he even said, I think she said it out of spite. I don't even think he took that whole situation seriously.
Mm-hmm. So, and then he did admit to you that it was his child. He believed it was his child.
Later, because I kept asking him, I'm like, he's like, it's not mine, and I was like, how are you going to tell me that she just told you that she's having an affair, and you tell me you don't believe that she's really having an affair, but that the kid's not yours? And I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. And she's like, stop it. And that was she said, I thanked him for telling me the truth. I didn't want him to for all this, but I just wanted to take a step back and just kind of like look at this situation without like any like ownership for my positive emotion and have attached to him. Like at the end of the day, there's a mother, children, one on the way, like 2.5. That can't be done right now. And it's like, I don't care about anything that's going on with me and him. I don't care about anything that's going on with him and the media. I don't care about any of that. Like, all I care about is helping you guys. This family.
Did you see that part of it? There's an interview with him.
One, most of the stuff that I saw was like just a phone. It was like a short excerpt. And then today I saw one.
What'd you think of that?
When they were interviewing him?
Is that the guy you know? See, we don't know him, but obviously we do. So when you see somebody, when you see the mannerisms, you know where they're talking. Did that strike you in any way?
I mean, he's kind of got an introverted personality type, so like he's kind of like laid back with things anyways. I feel like he's like an shock with all of this. Like, just, I told you the night that I talked to him on the phone, like, Monday night, like, he was calm, but you could just hear it in his voice, like, it's just like, so, like, I could hear it. Like, his voice just sounded it's kind of similar like that, where it was like you're trying to, like, hold back the tears, or hold back, like, and just bawling your eyes out on the phone, or, I don't know,
But do you think he's kind of an even keel type of guy?
Always.
Mild mannered.
Always.
So he didn't not highs and lows. He's not one of these people who gets upset quickly or gets depressed quickly.
No. I mean, he has moments of like happiness. I mean, of course I see him when he's like happy and things are going, but just in general, I think he's a pretty calm individual.
Okay. And again, this is just anything you want to say or anything you think. What do you think happened? Do you have any theories? Do you have any thoughts of what might
You know how much stuff is running through my
right now?
I hate it. I don't even like theorizing. I'm like, I don't know. I really hope. What do I really think? I'm hoping that they have a lot more debt than he let on to, and I'm hoping she didn't want to deal with it, and she wanted to legitimately start a new life, and I hope that she's like all that shit. That's what I'm hoping.
Is there anything you want to ask? You good? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things, too, is a lot of times what happens is after you have an interview like this, you might start thinking, you know, if he asked me this question or I just thought of something, feel free to give a call. Because usually people will think of something after the fact. You know, spending less than an hour at the park. You might think, you know what, in July, I remember he said this, or I remember this happened, you know, in early August. If any of that comes to your mind, just reach out to me, call, and you know, we appreciate any insight. We don't know what happened. We don't know. I mean, this could be a wide range of things at this point. Obviously, our job is to figure out what happened, and that's what we're going to do. So, the quicker we can get there, though, you know, if there's hope, right? There's always hope that they're okay, and we can get them home safely, and it's possible. There's a range of possibilities. So our job is to try to resolve this as quickly as possible. There's a whole bunch of us working on this, and we will day and night until we resolve it. So, but in the meantime, you're in a unique position.
I know, that's right. The babies, man, the babies, that woman, like that whole situation, like that is, I'm here because of those three. And her unborn. But I'm here for those three. But I'm also here because I am an So I really want to help you guys.
Well, we appreciate that. I think it's obvious. I mean, we can sense, anybody can sense sitting here how that you do care.
Yeah.
And that, there's little girls about babies. And we all want to see them home safely. So again, if you are in his life, that is in your shoes. So there are certain things that he might say to you that he wouldn't say to somebody else, or there might be something that you could find out about that nobody else could. So we'll have to see how that goes and see how the investigation progresses. So we may reach back out to you. But for now, just my main thing would be is if you hear from him and you think you should tell us about it, please call me. If you think of something else that happened, even if you think, it's really not that significant, but maybe I should have mentioned it, please call me and tell me. Because every little piece can help. One of the things I'm not even sure that I asked you this, maybe I did, but is there any particular places that you guys ever went that stood out? Did you have a special place that you wanted to go with you, for a walk or to go, view the sights or anything like that?
Every place that we went was like my idea, and I think all of it was special to him because I really took time to go to places that he would like, but it was all stuff that I picked. Every time. Like dinner, like any place we went, like it was something that I picked. It was like, hey, I know you like this, what do you think? He was always all about it, but like going camping was my idea, we went out a couple other times, my idea, like all of it was my idea. He was all about it.
So he just wanted to spend time.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think he cared where it was at.
Okay. Well, if something jumps out, if you think about a camping trip or something, and something that was said or something that was somehow significant about that, again, feel free to give a call and let me know. Because again, we just don't know. And it's one of those things where somebody might actually, a neighbor, a coworker, somebody might have a piece of information that makes the difference in the case. So, and you may have that piece of information. We just don't know yet. Obviously, we're going to be interviewing everybody from family, friends, coworkers, things like that line. So we got a lot of work to do, but we really appreciate you reaching out. And hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this quickly.
Where is he at?
Right now, I don't know. I know that he's been interviewed in Frederick by the police there, and he's probably going to be interviewed again. Maybe multiple times, family members as well. I think that he had some friends he was going to stay with. They wanted to, we wanted to look at the house. So I don't even know if he's gone back to the house or if he's with friends. I honestly don't know. But he may reach out to you. I mean, it's one of these things in a situation like this. You tend to reach out to the people who are closest to you and want to talk about things.
And what am I supposed to do with that?
If he does call you, obviously we would like to know anything and everything that he says, because again, they tell you something that he's not telling us. And also, even something that may seem obvious to you, if he told us something opposite, it's important. So if he said, I'm staying at Joe's house, and he tells you he's staying at Chris's house or Bob's house or wherever, and that's not true, well, then that could be significant. If he tells you that he went someplace and he didn't go there, that could be significant. So even though if you do have contact with him and you think it's just a normal conversation, there could be something that's significant about that.
Do you want me to
Not yet. Not yet. That's one of those things. Right. And we're not going to ask you to do that at this point. I mean, we have a lot of investigative avenues. We have a lot of things that we can do. I know this is difficult for you, and I don't want to make anything more stressful than it already is. So right now, I would just say sit tight. The most valuable thing you can do is just think of anything else that might be useful and let us know. And then if he contacts you, I would say it's okay to hear what he has to say. And if you could tell what that is, that can be very helpful. One of these things is if something happened that shouldn't have happened, there's usually a mistake, right? There's usually something that's said or something that's done that comes out. So even things that you seem completely innocent,
beginning of the first. Were they separating? I'm just curious.
Well,
I just want to know now because it's like I've been living this whole thing and I'm like, Was it a lie? I don't know. Like, when I found out that she had a baby on the way, I was like, it made me, like, wonder.
Well, so I can tell you this, Phil and I have not talked. I haven't even seen him other than him on news. So I don't know specifics. We probably have 50 people, I would guess, is that accurate, working on this right now? Okay, and it may want to be 100 people by the end of today. So there's different investigators doing different things. So I don't necessarily know what's going on with him. And our focus is just to check all the boxes as quick as possible so we can get all the facts. So I don't know. I don't know if he was really getting divorced, if they were really going to separate, if they will really sell the house. I don't know. And we'll find out. We'll find out soon. And actually, good point. Do you have any other questions for us? Is there anything that we can...
I'm so sad about the situation. I just want them to find all three of them, like, alive and happy and well, and everything just gone. Everybody to go.
Well, we greatly appreciate it. I would say thank you very much. Hang in there. I know this isn't easy. This is a difficult situation. Right. So hang in there. If I hear anything, I will reach out to you. Okay? I don't know how quickly that's going to happen. In the meantime, again, feel free to reach out. And if you feel like taking a phone call, you take a phone call. If it's a text message, you can do that. That's up to you. I'm not going to direct you at this time to do anything. But if it comes to that, where we think that might be helpful, then we'll reach back out.
Just me, I would say texting, because it's in writing and you don't have to get personal. But that's just me.
I mean, I asked him to leave me alone. He's pretty respectful of the things that I have to say to him, so I think it's pretty hard for him to have me not talking to him. So at some point, if he caved, if he did try to talk to me, it wouldn't surprise me. But if he also respected what I had to say and, like, continued to give me space, I think he would respect that too. I mean, I told him numerous times that day that I was scared, so I don't know. It's like, like, I'm concerned for your family, so I don't know how he interpreted that. But
We'll see as as time goes on. But that's it for now. And again, we'll reach back out to you if need be. One thing actually I did want to ask you on the phone again. So the text messages between you and him, did we get those?
Yeah, that was yesterday. As soon as I found out, and he was honest with me. Like, we talked a couple more times after that, and I was just like, I don't want you to contact me, and I just wiped him out.
If that's something that became necessary for us to try to retrieve, is that something that would be okay with you?
I'm sure we could work on my phone records, but I use that phone for work, so I'd appreciate it if I could, like, keep this. Is there another way for you guys to go about doing that? Like, through the phone company or something?
So there's special software we can plug your phone into, and even if it's deleted, we can still retrieve the content, rather. And then just preserve that and give the phone back. That's the course of action.
So you're not going to, like, take it from me, though, right? Because I just need it for work.
Yeah, no, we don't need to, like, take your phone and then you don't get it back. I mean, there is a process about getting the information from the phone, but we have people who do that. And it wouldn't be a big intrusion, but it just, and you think about this too, right? Because if you think after this example done, you think, okay, you know what, that text message that he wrote, that was a little strange. Then maybe we do that. We will. But for now, I don't know that it's necessary. But if it becomes necessary, we may come back to you and say, "Hey, can we just take a look at this phone?" And we'd like to retrieve those text messages. And again, it may not even be the content; it may just be the time and location. Right. So.
Well, and I mean, as long as you guys will give it back, I mean, that's my thing. I just need it for work. I don't even pay for it. Anandarko does, so I can't really just not have that. Would be a problem.
Did he have a work phone and a personal phone?
Yes.
Do you have numbers for both?
I mean, I could look up his work phone number on my directory thing for.
Did he contact you on both?
The first couple times that we talked for like a few days, it was on his work phone, but then it shifted to his personal phone. So it's like, I don't want any personal conversations on the work phone because we're pretty separated at work, and I'm trying to keep it that way at work. Right. I don't think anybody at work even knows that we like talk. Like, we're not affiliated with each other.
Okay. Yeah, if we could get both numbers, that'd be great. Just to make sure that we have them.
I don't know how to do that on here. I think there's like a directory in here somewhere on my thing. How do you
smash it? One of those broken screensavers.
I'm more gonna know how to do that.
You put a contact section and you dial the phone.
Oh, for the thing.
I hear the whole ravel.
Take your time.
Yeah.
And
Oh, shit.
No, that's his. That's mine. All it did was connect his contact. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I'm sure you could get it.
You have his personal cell phone.
Yes, that's what's saved in my phone. I don't have his work phone saved in my phone. I was hoping that I could look it up on my work directory because it's like linked to my email, I think, but
Well, that's it. We're gonna actually. Can we get that from just his personal number? I'm sure we have it already, but can we just get that?
Yeah.
And then the work phone, we'll get that from work. We can get that.
Yeah.
910-309-1702.
Okay.
That's the number that we have.
Okay.
And then one more question as far as, because I know you were doing the social media thing, but did you have an email address that you guys were in contact? No email?
I think we had like one email, but it wasn't like us talking. It was like I was trying to help the building that I operate and they use the field. It's like a gas monitor kind of thing. So just that. It was like a quick talk, but like pretty much everything that we've had has been like on social. Like I said, I did say one email. I don't even remember exactly what I had to do with the gas monitor. Something was wrong with the gas monitors, so I think he came to me about that, and then I think we talked a few times on his work phone, and then it was like, you know, because at that point it was still professional, but I knew that it was like getting to the point where it was going to be a personal thing. It's like we should be professional. That's not fair to me. And this is like my work phone and my home phone, but it's mine.
Right.
So I only have one. Yeah. So I mean, any correspondence that would be of like that phone number that is.
Okay. Fair enough.
And actually, I don't know what I asked in the beginning, because your full name? I know it's Nikki, but is it Kessinger? Well, we came right down once you called. Kessinger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nichole?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you did what?
July 3rd, 1988.
That's it. Can you think of anything else?
I think I just gave you guys everything that was on my mind. So
Okay. So I did a good job asking you lots of questions.
hopefully I gave you something that
I
you
just wanted to accelerate because of the babies.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't know them, but if there's somebody out there, as long as you're safe, we're cool with it. But,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's the main reason we get involved. Anytime there's a missing kid, local agencies can reach out to us for additional manpower, essentially. So I always want to get that resolved as quickly as possible.
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the key. And I can tell you this, we're doing everything it takes. So
All the more clues, the faster it gets, hopefully.
Right.
that's
And
exactly right.
That's why we thought we'd
get through.
do that. So.
Right.
No, and I think your information is very helpful. It also gives us a lot of insight too, which is helpful to do that. So,
Understood.
all right. Well,
So you guys with the local or with the feds?
we're friends. We're both LPIs.
So you're just helping out with the, that's a small,
Yeah, Frederick's a smaller PD, and a case like this requires a lot of manpower.
yeah, I used to do water treatment plants up there in Erie and
Oh, yeah.
all of those, and man, they would just, there's not enough lot going on in those towns, it's not overcrowded, no traffic, I mean, it's a lot,
There's no corners, people.
it's a lot smoother way of life, so I couldn't imagine that they would have 50.
Well,
It's
that's
just
what
a
we
one detective and a few patrol officers.
Yeah,
So,
so
that's one of the ways that we can help. Just because we have a lot of people and resources.
good. Good to know.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm sorry about the mosquito bites as well.
Yes.
I know I've
As long as you got
seems
it to go with,
like they're fine, and you and I are getting better. So
that's
we're good for that. For sure. look cold.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
Yep. Oh man, get that max one.